In August 2009, the police in Qinhuai District, Nanjing, China, received a report about disguised prostitution activities taking place at a hotel. During the raid, the police discovered 5 people naked and engaging in group intimacy. Upon investigation, several individuals confessed that they were lured into it by a secret chat group run by Yang Huo. From there, the police traced the mastermind behind it all, Ma Yaohai. However, his identity left all the investigators stunned. He was none other than a university associate professor, a respected educator. By day, he lectured with an air of intellectual authority, but by night, he transformed into the leader of a secret wife-swapping club, hosting countless debaucherous parties behind closed doors. From the lecture hall to illicit hotels, a university professor turned into the ringleader of the largest wife-swapping network in Nanjing. What led him down this path? Like and subscribe to uncover the shocking truth with us. On August 17, 2009, the police received an anonymous tip about illegal adult services disguised as legitimate business operations at a hotel in Qinhuai District, Nanjing. An investigative team was dispatched to verify the claims. A quick scan of hotel records revealed multiple adjacent rooms booked under different names, with stays never exceeding 1 night, showing no signs of typical tourism. The special forces decided to take action. At 11 p.m., the raid was launched. The hotel room door was kicked open. Flashlights illuminated the cramped space, revealing 5 naked individuals, panicked and scrambling to cover themselves. The strong scent of alcohol and perfume filled the air. Terrified expressions and blank stares met the officers. There was no way to deny it. This was no innocent social gathering. The police restrained everyone in the room, seizing their phones and documents. Some still tried to justify their actions, claiming it was just a social getaway for couples. But the data on their phones told a different story. Messages, member lists, and records of previous gatherings dismantled all of their excuses. 2 names stood out in the chat history: the Mon and Hailan. The police swiftly investigated these individuals. Eventually, one of the detained individuals confessed. The mastermind behind the entire operation was a man with the alias Yang Huo. By piecing together chat logs, hotel reservations, and testimonies, the police uncovered the true identity of the leader, Ma Yaohai, an associate professor at Nanjing University. No one could believe it. A respected educator, a man of knowledge and ethics, was the one orchestrating these secret sex parties. Based on the collected evidence, at 11 p.m. on August 21, 2009, police arrested Ma Yaohai at his home and took him to the Bailuzhou station for questioning. The arrest went smoothly. Ma Yaohai neither resisted nor showed surprise. His demeanor, shaped by years as an educator, remained unnervingly calm. Born in 1957, Ma Yaohai was an exceptional intellect, but also a man with unfathomable darkness. He graduated from Zhejiang University with a degree in mathematics in 1978, pursued a master's degree at Harbin Institute of Technology in 1986, and was appointed as an associate professor at Nanjing University of Technology in 1994. His career seemed flawless, but it was only a facade. Inside, Ma Yaohai was a lonely man. His marriage was never a happy one. In 1985, he married through an arranged match to a woman 2 years older than him. A union without love, only duty and responsibility. They lived in a cramped 9-millimeter apartment near Hansei District. Their relationship grew colder over time. No connection, no passion. By 1992, they divorced. His wife left for another country to advance her career. In 1993, she returned, but not to rekindle their relationship. She came back only to take their child away. She had remarried in America, and her new life there was far better. Reluctantly, Ma Yaohai agreed. From that moment, he buried himself in work, trying to escape reality. In 1994, a new door opened. He was transferred to Nanjing University of Technology, where he met Zhao Ling, a beautiful and intelligent lecturer. For the first time in years, he felt like someone truly cared about him. The feelings were mutual. It didn't take long for Zhao Ling to become his woman, but soon after their marriage, the distance between them grew. Zhao Ling came from a prestigious government family and looked down on his rural background. The mockery, the disdain, it was blatant. Day by day, their relationship deteriorated. The clash of social classes could not be reconciled. By 1999, Ma Yaohai could no longer endure it. He wanted out of this miserable marriage, but freedom came at a steep price. He had to give Zhao Ling 2 out of his 3 properties. Not only that, he had to write a debt acknowledgement. Everything could be measured in money, even the years of suffering they endured together. But Zhao Ling was not done. She continued to use the debt as a weapon, repeatedly suing him for large monthly payments. The court ruled that 2,000 yuan from his 4,000 yuan salary would be deducted monthly to repay her. Ma Yaohai had no choice. Despite losing nearly half of his income, he had to continue teaching, maintaining the intellectual facade that society expected from him. In 2006, Ma Yaohai was drowning under the pressures of life. Financial struggles, legal disputes with Zhao Ling, and the suffocating loneliness that clung to him every night. He began searching for an escape, a way to break free from reality. The internet became his new world. He delved into underground forums where the most forbidden topics were freely discussed. Articles on deviant relationships, immoral exchanges, and conversations that only belonged in the shadows. A chat group called Wife Swapping Game appeared. Someone had invited him in, a small, anonymous group with members who shared a twisted interest. He hesitated, but eventually clicked the link. Chinese media had previously reported about a former female police officer who quit her job to create a website called Asian Connection Center. It was a platform where married couples shared their experiences with partner swapping. He read every description, every story. He was mesmerized. This was nothing like the marriage he had known. It was a world without restrictions, without betrayal, without pain. Everything was based on absolute consent. But there was one problem. These groups required video identity verification of both husband and wife. A major obstacle for him. A single man. He decided to lie. On the registration form, he claimed that his wife was abroad and would verify their identities once she returned. It was a perfect lie, but not enough to fool those who had been in this game for years. He was rejected. Again and again. But if he couldn't join a group, he would create his own. In 2007, a new chat group was born, Independent Travel for Couples and Married Partners. A seemingly innocent name, but what happened inside was far from ordinary. 3 core rules were established: no large gatherings, no explicit images, and no discussions about politics. These rules were just enough to avoid detection while still attracting like-minded individuals. In the early months, the group was simply a space to share intimate experiences and marriage-related discussions, nothing too different from other forums. But gradually, it evolved. The discussions became darker. It was no longer just about relationships. Now, members openly talked about wife swapping and partner exchanges. Ma Yaohai was no longer just an observer. He actively participated, asking questions, sharing experiences from what he had read. He didn't have a wife to exchange, but that didn't matter. He was the leader, the one who controlled everything. The first gatherings were organized. They were disguised as vacation trips and weekend getaways. By day, they were just like regular tourists. But when night fell, everything changed. In a private room with soft music playing, the assisted undressing ritual began. A symbolic start where couples helped each other remove their clothing to eliminate any awkwardness. Then came the nights of debauchery, pleasure-filled events that lasted until dawn. Once there was a first time, there would always be a second. The number of participants increased. Hotels and secluded rental villas became their regular venues. The member list expanded across all social classes. They were security guards, office workers, taxi drivers, ordinary people with an extraordinary secret. No one knew about each other's personal lives. No one asked about jobs, families, or backgrounds. There was only one rule. Everything was voluntary. No one could be forced or obligated. Participants did not immediately indulge. They sat together, talked like old friends. If someone had the desire, they would quietly leave. No pressure, no coercion. This was not reckless hedonism. It was an organized system with unspoken rules. None of them believed they were doing anything wrong. To them, it was just a conditional exchange, a private agreement. The meetings weren't limited to hotels. Ma Yaohai's own home, where he lived with his Alzheimer's-stricken mother, also became a location for these social gatherings. When someone initiated, he would invite the right people into his bedroom. Once the door closed, the games began. But things started to change. After being rejected multiple times by younger women, Ma Yaohai developed deep insecurities. Even as the leader, he realized he couldn't have everything he wanted. In May 2009, he made a shocking decision. He announced the dissolution of the chat group, shutting down the gatherings he once took pride in organizing. But just 3 months later, in August 2009, fate intervened. An anonymous tip-off reached the police. One name appeared on the investigators' desks: Ma Yaohai. Authorities immediately launched an investigation. They traced chat logs, hotel bookings, and surveillance footage from the places he frequented. One by one, the names were revealed. The network Ma Yaohai believed to be airtight was being unraveled, layer by layer. The midnight raid on August 17, 2009, was the final blow. At a hotel in Qinhuai district, police caught a group of people naked, participating in a private party. The first confessions emerged. When interrogated, some admitted they had joined under the invitation of someone known as Yang Huo. Just days later, the true mastermind was exposed. Ma Yaohai, a respected associate professor at Nanjing University of Technology. One by one, the participants were arrested. By the end of 2009, the police uncovered the full extent of the operation. Between the summer of 2007 and August 2009, a total of 22 people participated in 35 separate debauchery gatherings. Among them, Ma Yaohai was the central figure. He personally organized or attended 18 of these parties, 14 of which were held at his own home. The shocking truth was even more disturbing. Among the 22 participants, only 2 were actual married couples. The rest were individuals who joined for their own reasons. Ma Yaohai was not only the oldest in the group, he was also the most educated, a scholar, a professor, yet the mastermind behind a debaucherous underground network. After the wife-swapping scandal was exposed, he was forced to resign. No more reputation, no more stable income. On April 1, 2010, a legal enforcement notice was sent to him. The name of the plaintiff remained unchanged: Zhao Ling. She demanded the remaining debt be paid, despite the fact that he was now penniless. Ma Yaohai slumped over his desk. Pressure was closing in on him, not just from Zhao Ling, not just from the collapse of his career, but from something even more terrifying. His family was falling apart. His mother suffered from Alzheimer's. She no longer recognized her own son, and even the simplest daily tasks had become impossible without his full support. Mental illness ran in his family. The terrible disease did not stop at his mother. His older brother and sister had also developed severe mental disorders. This reality completely shattered him, yet he remained stubborn. He stood before the court, insisting that his actions were not criminal. With a steady voice, he declared, "Everyone who participated was willing. No one was forced. This is personal life, not a crime." The courtroom erupted in murmurs. Journalists fixated on the defendant, attendees whispered among themselves. A university professor who had organized 18 mass orgies, yet he shamelessly claimed he was innocent. The prosecutor countered his argument. Investigation records, witness testimonies, and images from the hotel raid all prove that this was not just a private affair, but a well-organized operation with structured membership and recruitment. Ma Yaohai stubbornly refused to admit guilt, but the evidence was overwhelming. The trial lasted from April 7 to April 8, 2010. 22 defendants stood before the judge. 21 of them bowed their heads and pleaded guilty. No one argued, no one resisted. But there was one exception. Ma Yaohai stood firm. He insisted he was innocent. On May 20, 2010, the final verdict was announced. Ma Yaohai and the other defendants were officially convicted of organizing mass debauchery gatherings. He received the heaviest sentence, 3 years and 6 months in prison. The other defendants, showing remorse, were only given suspended sentences of 3 to 6 months. This was the first time in China's legal history that such a large-scale wife-swapping case was tried publicly. The public reaction was explosive. Some believed the sentence was too lenient for Ma Yaohai. He had not only broken the law, but had corrupted moral values. Others argued that the court had overstepped its bounds and intervened too deeply in personal lives. He was sent to prison. No more lecture halls, no more secret parties in luxury hotels. All that remained was a solitary man, abandoned by society. Zhao Ling, his ex-wife, never appeared at the trial. But sources revealed that right after the verdict, she filed another lawsuit to claim his remaining debt. From a man who once had everything, he lost it all. His career, his family, his reputation, destroyed because of pleasures he once thought were harmless. 3.5 years later, Ma Yaohai was released. But as he stepped out of the prison gates, no one was there to welcome him. No home to return to. No one who wanted to remember him. The case was closed, but the name Ma Yaohai became a dark stain in China's legal history. A lesson in moral downfall, a reminder of boundaries that should never be crossed, whether in darkness or daylight. This concludes today's video. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so we can bring you more bizarre and emotional stories. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.